This is the AGM Brake Pressure Bleeder, and today we're going to do a product overview and tell you why we built it the way it is. So, watch your toes, kids, because we're about to drop some knowledge. Before we dive into all this awesome though, let's take a step back and talk about why you should even care about these funny looking bottles. I think we can all agree that driving is fun, and stopping is pretty cool too also, or at least necessary, right? Well, it turns out that the fluid in your brake system has a big part to do with how well you can stop, or if you can stop at all. What I mean by that is when your vehicle is new, so is the fluid. But after a while, that fluid can absorb moisture, it can collect debris from inside the brake circuit, and it can experience high temperatures during each braking event. Over time, it can break down the fluid, lower the boiling point, and generally reduce the performance of your brakes. For a more in-depth video on brake bleeding, you can check out the link in the description below. Now, in many cases, this decline happens slowly over time, so you may not even be aware of your lost performance. In extreme cases, the moisture in the system will exceed what the fluid can hold, and it'll drop out of suspension and collect in the low points. Then when you see those high temperatures again, that moisture can boil, become a gas, which is compressible, thank you second grade science, meaning that the once hard brake pedal you had will become spongy or non-existent. It's in that moment that you realize just how cool brakes would be if you had them. So rather than experience that bundle of joy, or bowl of dicks, shit show, cluster or car crash, manufacturers and crew chiefs alike recommend bleeding your brakes on a regular basis. To which you say, but that's a pain in the butt. It takes too long. It takes two people. It just seems too hard. And you'd be right, until now. Those were actually our complaints too, and what we used to help us design the new brake pressure bleeder. Starting with the new, larger 3-liter capacity container. Now you can bleed brakes without worrying about running the reservoir dry, which is a concern if you're bleeding the brakes with more traditional methods or using a vacuum bleeder. The new Easy Fill cap allows you to put fluid into the assembly without removing the entire pressure head like the previous models. And if this is a little bit too tight to get off, we've included a wrench that allows you to both take this off and install it, make sure that it's tight and secure so that you don't lose any pressure out of this cap when you're bleeding your brakes. And speaking of pressure, this system uses pressure to force all of the old fluid through the bottle into the system and out the brake circuit. This is where the magic is. A lot like washing your car or cleaning out pipes, that positive pressure is what cleans all of the junk out of the system and works way better than trying to pull a suction on something. This becomes even more critical with modern brake systems that twist and turn all over the car. The pressure bleeder even works with ABS systems. It's not something many other bleeders can say. Now it's a one-person job. No more waiting around to find someone else to help.
Bro, can you help me bleed my brakes?
I'm working!
You can get the job done faster. This makes it great for technicians, racers, and really anyone who values their time. To help illustrate what this actually looks like, we threw together a short skit / origin story that helps you see what it might look like to use the brake bleeder in just normal everyday life. Check it out. Oh, hey, Carol. Yeah. Yeah, just getting ready to bleed them right now. Uh-huh. All right. I love you too, okay? Yeah, I'll see you at dinner. All right, bye.
Time, and I shouldn't be telling you this because it can affect the timeline, but it's the only way to save Carol. Upset the time? Who? Wait, what's gonna happen to Carol? I don't have time to explain. You just need to use the AGM brake bleeder. I can't afford the AGM brake bleeder. It's too expensive. That was the old one. This is the new one. $28.79 now. You can Venmo me later.
Yeah, but is it as good as the old one?
Yeah, it's even better. Physically larger with more capacity and it's cheaper.
But I still have to buy the catch bottle separately.
No, it comes with it now.
Same quality and everything?
Open it up. See for yourself.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh no, it's coming. Who's coming?
Time cop.
Time's up.
Look at it. Go! I got this! Use it before it's too late!
Yes. No bubbles.
Oh, come on.
Nice. Make sure the rest of the world knows about the AGM Brake Bleeder.
Wait! Before you go, what happened to Carol in your timeline? Her brakes, they were too spongy. But you don't have to worry about that anymore. Hey, don't forget to Venmo me.
Time cop, am I right? Always trying to put the squeeze on everybody. Hey, speaking of force, using pressure to force the old fluid out ensures that you don't get false bubbles like you do with vacuum bleeding, which can pull air from around the bleeder screw and suck it up into the bottle, making you think you have more air in the system than you really might. You can read the pressure on the bottle with the built-in gauge here, and can actually tune the working pressure with this built-in adjustable pressure regulator. So no matter what the incoming air is, you can be sure the pressure in the system stays consistent. Now, all of this is covered in detail in the instructions that come with the bleeder. Note! You either want to have an air dryer in line in your compressor circuit, or you want to empty the air tank of all the moisture prior to starting the brake bleed. The drier the air that enters the bottle, the better. That air enters through the ball valve on the top of the bleeder, which allows you to control airflow as well, and it also allows you to seal the bottle from debris when the bleeder's not in use. Just close that off when done and store knowing that it'll stay clean inside. The quick release fitting on the feed hose also helps to seal the bleeder when it's not in use. Plus, it makes for a fast and simple way to connect to any of the reservoir adapter caps. To catch the dirty fluid as it exits the vehicle, we give you a catch bottle.
I hesitated so hard.
I know I did, I hate it. You can't say to receive the dirty fluid. That just sounds dirty. And so you don't spill all that dirty fluid on your nice clean floors, we include a catch bottle in the system. Now this comes with a clear hose so you can monitor any bubbles leaving the system, as well as notice when it goes from dirty to clear fluid, indicating that you are done bleeding that particular corner of the car. You'll see the bottle also has indicator marks on it. This lets you know how much fluid has left the system, and in turn, how much fluid is left in the bleeder. A chain with a hook comes on the catch bottle so you can hang it from the vehicle to free your hands while you're doing the job. Now we also included a hook on the bleeder to give you more options for positioning it while doing the job as well. Once you've bled the entire system and removed the bleeder and the adapter, you'll notice that your reservoir is overfilled. So we also include a syringe in the kit. This way you can suck out that extra fluid level, bringing the reservoir down to where it was prior to the brake bleed. Note! If the level in your reservoir was lower than max when you began the brake bleed, you may have worn out brake pads or a leak in the system. Either way, you need to inspect that before the car goes back on the road. Now you can use the same proven method of brake bleeding that luxury car brands and race teams swear by at your home, at the track, or in your workshop without spending hundreds, if not thousands, that those units cost. Get the job done right, get it done fast. Get your AGM brake pressure bleeder today and let's get to work.